Okay, so I got cut off in the last video. I met the maximum amount of minutes I'm allowed to do in a video, and we were finishing up this window right here. So the next thing I'm going to have you guys work on is the door, and I already started the door because we talked about how if the outside is horizontal, the lines on the inside have to be horizontal. If it's vertical, or excuse me, vertical here, horizontal here. Okay, so I made a door with my horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, I'm also going to create a trim on this one just by drawing lines out at about 45 degrees. Okay, and then I can add little door handles if I want to. I could also add little windows onto the door. So there's a lot of details you could do. I'm not going to require that for the practice. Okay, so once you finish these, you can either pause the video, you can continue going on. I'm going to show you how to add doors and windows over here. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to follow the rules. If this side is vertical, so is the side of my window. Okay, but the top of the building goes towards the vanishing point. So the top of my window needs to go towards the vanishing point. Same thing with the bottom, because the bottom of the building goes towards the vanishing point, so will the bottom of my window. The side is vertical, so I'm going to chop it vertical. Anything I add on the inside here needs to follow those rules as well. So if I'm adding a vertical line right here, if I want to divide this, it needs to be vertical just like the sides. Now, if I want to chop it this way, I can't just guess where this line is going to go. I use the vanishing point. So I'm connected to my vanishing point. I might make 2 layers here. Okay. So once you finish up with the windows, you'll do the doors. And you can place the doors anywhere. But again, you want to make sure that you have a vertical line, just like the outside. This one's going to go towards the vanishing point because the bottom goes towards the vanishing point. And then you have a vertical line. So if the doors look crooked or they look like they're not quite where they're supposed to be, sure that you followed the same rules as the outside of the building. We'll keep these simple. We won't do trims on these. I just need you guys to understand how to do that. So again, you guys can pause the video or continue it, whatever pace you need to move at. And this shape right here, we're going to be doing a garage. So I'm going to start off with the vanishing point, and again, we need a little bit more of a wide building. So we're going to draw a building just like we would, just like you guys already know how to do. And I need to make sure that I have enough space right here to add my garage. So again, we're going to be doing something that looks like this. Okay, so I'm going to erase my extra lines. Now we need to create a trim around the garage. So it's almost like doing a window. I'm going to use my vanishing point here. So basically I want a gap between where my edge of my garage is and where my garage door starts. So here's the gap right here, okay? And then I'm gonna create a roll top. I'm gonna turn this around so you guys can see it a little bit better. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line it up with my vanishing point, and I'm gonna draw a few lines that are going towards my vanishing point. Okay, so it looks like one of those garage doors that can just roll up. I put a little handle on it, and I have it kind of open. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is add the floor in here. And the first line I need to draw is from the corner here, not the corner of the building, the corner of the opening, and I need a horizontal line. Okay, that's going to make it look like as a car, I could drive right into here onto this flat surface. Okay, then I'm going to continue dividing the floor with horizontal lines. And then to make it look more like a checkerboard, like an old school garage floor, I'm going to use my vanishing point. So it's kind of like how we divided our sidewalk. Oh, can't really divide anymore. And then I'm just going to fill in every other one. You just do this lightly. But it kind of makes the floor pop out from our roll top garage too. So it's like a checkerboard every other one. Okay, this is all I'm going to require for learning how to do the garage. So you can pause it. And then for those of you that are picking this up really quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this one on the screen. So before you pause it, put this on the screen. And then the kids that want to try this with the signs in the doorway and adding little bottles on the shelf or doing a sidewalk with the curb on it, you can do that. It's not required. Again, just the floor and the roll top are required. You can try that if you are feeling comfortable. Now, after you guys are done pausing, you can continue on with the video. We have 2 more exercises to do. I have to flip over to the backside because I am out of areas to work on. And we're going to do our brick and wood siding. Okay, so we're going to start off with our vanishing point in the upper right-hand corner. I have to draw my lines here so you guys will be able to see it a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to start, again, vanishing point, upper right-hand corner. I'm going to make a building here. Again, at this point, hopefully you guys are all very, very comfortable with drawing your buildings. Okay, so again, connect it to your vanishing point. Now, whenever you add brick siding or excuse me, wood siding or bricks onto a building, you would want to do that after you get your windows and doors. But just to practice, we're going to do this without windows and doors. So what I'm just going to mark and try to space these out evenly. You can use a ruler if you want to make it really, really exact, your particular person. I just kind of eyeball it to space out my bricks on here. Okay, again, if it's horizontal, if I'm on my horizontal and vertical side, all I do is I just follow the rules. I connect that little dot I made over to the side. Connect my dot over to the side. Now, I'm not going to make you guys watch me draw every single brick on here. I'm going to get about half of it done so you guys get an idea of how this is going to go. Then I need to connect this side to my vanishing point. Make sure you're always on your vanishing point and you're not just moving your protractor down. Otherwise, you're going to lose the illusion. Okay, now you guys are going to do the full building. Again, I'm not going to fill it in all the way yet. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide in a brick pattern. And so this side needs to be chopped with vertical lines because the side of my building is vertical. And I did every other one. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. It's easiest if you do all of your vertical lines at the same time. I just place my protractor down and go every other one. Then I go in between my bricks. So it shouldn't be a checkerboard where you draw the line all the way down. We need them alternating. Okay. When I divide the bricks on this side, I again need to use vertical lines. This is vertical here. Okay, and I go in between. Now, if I want to do wood siding, I'm just going to show you 2 things with that. I'm going to divide it exactly the same way I do the bricks. I'll just show you 2 little rows of it. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in for this and see it a little bit better. Okay, so all I do is make little squiggly lines on here to make it look like it has some wood texture to it. And do that on both sides. Right, and then I create a little bit of a shadow underneath. Because with wood siding, they kind of overlap over top of each other. Okay, so that's how you would create the wood siding on there. I do want you guys to practice the brick, and I want you to practice. And you can pause, give yourself some time to work on that. The last one that we're going to be working on is the steeple roof. Okay, so the steeple roof looks like this. Instead of having the flat top on the roof, we're going to create more of a V shape over the top. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off with your vanishing point in the upper right hand corner. You're going to have more of a square shape down here, but we're not going to put the top on it. Now what I do is I eyeball the middle and I place my protractor with the vertical line in the middle, and I decide how tall I want my roof. Okay, so then I just put my pencil here, I connect it to one side, and I overlap, and I connect it to the other. Okay, now I'm going to thicken up this line by just drawing another line on top. So now my roof line has become a shape, not just a line. And then I'm going to follow our rules. I'm going to connect every point to my vanishing point unless I have to draw through a shape, including the edge of my roof, the bottom of the house. Oh, can't connect this one because it's going to draw through. I can connect a little bit right here. Okay, so now I'm going to chop. I'm going to use this vertical line. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to chop it. But for the roof, we kind of have to break our own rules. Normally it has to be vertical, horizontal, or going towards the vanishing point. For the roof, we're actually going to make this parallel to chop it. We're parallel to this line right here. I go a little bit past that line right there. And then I just erase what I don't need. Now to make the shingles on here, it's kind of the same way I do the bricks. I make little marks here to divide out my space. And then I connect it to the vanishing point. And there's a couple different ways that you can do this. Now again, when I'm dividing, I don't use vertical lines. I need them parallel with the side here. And I'm going to do the bottom more like a gingerbread house so you guys can see what that looks like. Okay, so I can create shingles that look a little bit more traditional. It's almost exactly like bricks, but what I do is I come in and I kind of mess them up a little bit because roof shingles aren't always exactly perfect. So I kind of go over them a little bit more. Okay. And then if you want to make something that looks more like a gingerbread house, the lines that you make here are going to be really, really light. So they're more like guidelines. And I make something that looks more like fish scales or the letter U. And I just go in between. And I can even get rid of the edge here and make those kind of come over the top. Okay, so there's a couple options that you guys can do for roofing. And we follow the same rules that we did here. If I have a horizontal and vertical shape, all my doors and windows here are horizontal and vertical. These need to go towards the vanishing point. So go towards the vanishing point, horizontal, vertical for any doors and windows you add. I require that you guys make this steeple roof and you do the shingles for your practice. For those of you, again, that are picking this up really quickly, go ahead and add your doors and windows while you're waiting for your class to catch up. Okay? If you feel like you're still struggling with this after all of our practices, after we set up our final as a class, that's when we're going to have individual work time. And you can ask the teacher for help. If you need to go back to the practices, go back to the practices. Okay? Everybody else, if you're doing really well on this, once you finish your final, you'll just work at your own pace.